In Southeast Asia, the digital world is reshaping how people fight for justice. Yet, in many debates about social movements, the intersection between women's struggles and digital environments is rarely addressed. At the grassroots level, this silence creates a knowledge gap, leaving some of the most important stories untold. In Thailand's southern border provinces, often called the Deep South, conflict has defined daily life for decades. The Malay Muslim minority community lives under extraordinary regulations. Since the escalation of violence in 2004, counterinsurgency policies have multiplied. Officially, they are meant to confront armed groups. In practice, they place civilians at the centre of suspicion and surveillance. One form of control is the forced collection of personal data. Residents are required to submit fingerprints, ID scans, and now facial recognition profiles. The state calls this security. For those who live here, it feels like constant monitoring. Men are often the ones directly targeted as potential suspects. Women face different challenges, raising families under surveillance, moving through communities where every glance can feel recorded, and navigating technologies that were never designed to protect them. Nevertheless, digital environment that restricts can also empower women. Recognizing the importance of amplifying women's voices through digital spaces, this study explores the roles of social media in shaping women's collective actions. Using qualitative observation and interviews, it asks how women frame solidarity in the digital era. How do they use media platforms as alternative spaces for political action? And how do they defend their rights in an environment shaped by surveillance? Through the lens of social movement theory, the research examines both obstacles and strategies. It highlights how women frame their experiences into shared narratives, how they mobilize emotional and social resources, and how online networks extend community life by sustaining collective action. The preliminary findings of this study found that women's groups in the Deep South are not silent. They use Facebook, Line, live streams, and community pages to speak, to connect, and to build networks of support. In these spaces, women amplify their voices. They strengthen solidarity and create alternative ways to participate in political life. Their movements may not always march in the streets, but they flow through timelines, posts and conversations that weave communities together. The women's digital movement demonstrated its effectiveness in translating online engagement into large-scale public gatherings, with approximately 40,000 people mobilized at Melayu Raya 2023. The contradiction is unavoidable. Digital tools can liberate, but they also control. Every message, every image, every post carries both opportunity and risk. Women who step into these digital arenas must navigate between hope and caution. A prominent female human rights defender, for instance, faced multiple threats and legal accusations under computer crime acts simply for posting the truth on her Facebook page. These women are not waiting for permission to act. Every video posted is an act of resistance. Every online gathering is a moment of solidarity. Every digital connection threads their voices into something larger than themselves. Still, the risks remain. Surveillance systems are powerful. Regulations are restrictive. The balance of power between state and citizen is unequal. Yet, within these conditions, women continue to show resilience. Their work reminds us that grassroots action does not disappear. It adapts. This study captures that resilience. It documents the challenges of digital spaces, but also reveals their potential. For women in conflict areas, online platforms are not only places of risk, but also of strength places where movements can take root and grow. In Thailand's Deep South, women live under surveillance, yet they are reshaping their story. They show us that even in controlled spaces, movements can rise. They show us that solidarity can be built, voices can travel, and peace can be pursued one post, one message, one collective action at a time.